Okay, today we talk about the radiation. Before going to the radiation, let us see what are the three mechanisms of heat transfer we are studying from initial stages of our subject. That is conduction, convection, and the radiation. Okay, we all know that these are the three mechanisms, but in early days we have only two mechanisms, that is a conduction and the convection, and these mechanisms, as we know, that we use it to exchange the heat or to transfer the heat in the presence of a medium or in the presence of the molecules. Okay, so if you take the conduction, as we know that there is a heat transfer between a solid to a solid, or where there is no movement of the molecules, there also the heat transfer takes place. Where in the convection there must be a bulk motion of a fluid, then the heat transfer takes place between the fluids. Okay, that is comes under the convection. That means there is some medium presented there, that is a molecules. Okay, so when they got a thought that is heat transfer through vacuum is possible. Okay, so then they have done some experiment. Okay, they have placed some hot object in an evacuated chamber. Okay, so and they have initially taken that chamber temperature, wall temperature is a Tc, and the object what we are taking, that temperature is a Th. Then they have drawn a graph for the certain period of time. In x-axis time and the y-axis is the temperature. So that they observe that the temperature of the hot object is goes on decreasing, and the Tc is goes on increasing until it reaches its thermal equilibrium. As we know that whenever one temperature is decreasing and the one temperature is increasing at a certain period of time, both will become equal. Okay, so that means there is a exchanging of heat takes place between these two. So how it is taking place? But there is a vacuum throughout this chamber. But we know that in a conduction there should be a presence of the molecules as a medium, but here there is no molecules presented, so it cannot be said as a conduction. In the same way, for the convection also there should be a presence of a medium, that is a molecules, but here it is a vacuum, so convection also cannot be applied for this. Then there is a medium, without medium there is a heat exchanging takes place. There the thermal radiation came into a existence. Okay, that is called the thermal radiation. The best example for that thermal radiation is as we take we know that sun and the earth. Okay, we are feeling that heat which is coming from the sun. Okay, but between the sun and the earth there is only a vacuum, there is no medium. Okay, that means still we are feeling that heat. Okay, if the sun is behind the clouds, there will be a variation in the temperature. If the sun is before the clouds, and there will be a more temperature, so we can feel that heat from the sun to the earth, but we know that between the sun and the earth there is a vacuum. So that is the best example for the thermal radiation. So simply we will say that thermal radiation is the energy transfer in the form of electromagnetic waves. As you people already know about the electromagnetic spectrum, that is it classified in terms of the wavelength and the waves which are propagated at the speed of the light, or it is a speed of the vacuum, both are the same. So this can be done by C is equal to frequency into wavelength. Okay, here frequency depends upon the source of waves, where wavelength depends upon the medium through which the wave is propagating. Okay, so as we know that there will be different waves in the electromagnetic spectrum, that is cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays, visible rays, infrared rays, microwaves, and the radio waves. Okay, there were the different wavelengths. Okay, from negligible wavelength to higher wavelength, like 10 power minus 10 micrometer to there will be a 10,000 kilometers of wavelength. Okay, but out of all these rays, only UV rays, visible rays, and IR rays were responsible for the heat transfer through the temperature of the matter. Okay, So as only at the where these rays are there, the wavelengths at these particular waves will be depends upon the temperature of the matter. So only that we call it as a thermal radiation. Of course, there will be a different wavelengths in a radiation, but 99% of wavelengths will be under this UV visible in the infrared rays. So we'll call it as a thermal radiation depends upon the UV visible and the IR rays. Now here points to be noted there how there is a theory of a exchange. So there were the 2 points that all body emits radiation at all temperatures and all bodies absorbs radiation falling on it at all the temperatures. Okay, so if you take any body, it emits some radiation and it absorbs some radiation. Not only the example what we have taken in the sun or the earth, whatever the bodies we are seeing in our daily lives, everything will emit some radiation and absorb some radiation, but it depends upon the material how much it is emitting and how much it is absorbing. Okay, and that depends upon the temperature and the material properties. That is what here amount of emitted or absorbed, it depends upon the temperature and the material properties. Okay, so how we can say that surrounding temperature, if the surrounding temperature is greater than the body temperature, then absorption will be a greater than emission. Okay, now body temperature is less than the surrounding temperature. Now what the body will do, it will try to absorb the temperature from the surroundings. That means finally what will happen, body temperature will increases. In the same way, if it is a vice versa, that means if the body temperature is more than the surrounding temperature, then what will you do, the body will try to emit the radiation, then obviously the body temperature falls down. So when both become a constant, when the body temperature remains constant, what will happen, the absorption and the emission will be a equal. That is, absorption is equal to emission. Here we can include one law, that is call it as a Kirchhoff law. We know that the absorption is equal to emission. Okay, now we should know what is the absorption power and what is the emissive power. Okay, so now coming to the emissive power. Okay, here we are considering the some body. Okay, and that body is emitting the radiation. Okay, let us say that that is a Q. That is, Q is nothing but a amount of heat radiation. Now how this heat radiation depends, it depends surface area. If the area is more, the amount of heat radiation to the outside will be a more, and at the same time it depends of the time. If you put a more time, the amount of radiation will be a more. That means Q is directly proportional to area into time. So if you want to write in terms of equal to, Q is equal to EAT, where E is equal to emissive power. Okay, and there is, in some books there will be a E lambda, that is spectral emissive power. So emissive power means we can find out the emissive power throughout the spectrum. So if you want at any particular wavelength, if you want to find out what is the emissive power, as I said there will be a different rays in all the bodies. If it is a bulb, so maximum rays it has to come as a visible light rays. Okay, but including a light rays there will be a different rays, but we should know how much amount of the light rays it is emitting. Okay, and that is nothing but a spectral emissive power. If you want to find out at the particular wavelength, then we call it as a spectral emissive power or monochromatic emissive power. Okay, so this emissive power will also depends upon the temperature. And again one more point here, the conduction and the convection will depends upon the temperature at the power of a unity, whereas in radiation the temperature is the power of 4. Okay, next coming to the absorption power. If it is absorption power, it will be denoted by the A. If it is absorptivity, will be till in a alpha. So you can take whatever you want. Now here we have taken the body. When there is a incident radiations on any material surface, it will absorb. Okay, how much it is absorbing? If there is some X incident radiations were occurring on that particular material surface, it will absorb only a few in that particular x. Okay, then how can we write that? Alpha is equal to heat absorbed. How much it is absorbing by heat incident on the body. How much heat incidented on the body. That is nothing but a alpha. This alpha value will depends upon the material we have taken. There will be a different absorption capacity for the different materials. Okay, that means the alpha value is in between the 0 to 1. 0 means alpha value is 0 means it is not absorbing, which means that it is reflecting. Okay, if the alpha value is equal to 0, we call it as a perfect reflector. If the alpha value is equal to 1, we call it as a ideal observer or perfect observer, that we usually called as a black body. Okay, that is nothing but a observability. In the same way, we can do it for the alpha suffix lambda, that is spectral absorption power or monochromatic absorption power. That means at some particular wavelength we can find out the values. How we can find out that values we will see later on. Okay, so same thing now we are telling. So if there is an incident radiation, which we can call it as a radiation, will be incident on any material surface, there will be three things will be commonly happen. One thing is few radiations will be observed, few will be transmitted, and few will be reflected. If you denoted that incident radiation Z, so what will be happen according to the conservation of energy principle? Total incident radiations is equal to absorption plus reflection plus transmitted. Okay, if you do it by in the terms of fraction, Ga by G plus Gr by G plus Gt by G is equal to 1. This incidence of fraction of incident rates observed can be called it as a absorptivity. Next one is the reflectivity, and tau is the transmittivity. Okay, so when G is observed, it will be converted into a internal energy. Okay, so alpha plus rho plus tau is equal to 1. Now how it will apply to the different bodies we will see here. That is alpha plus rho plus tau is equal to 1. If it is a black body, as we said that we already know that black body is which absorbs the radiations. That means completely only absorb, completely. If there is a 100 incident radiations or placing on some particular material, it will absorb all the 100 incident radiations. That means alpha is equal to 1, rho is equal to 0, tau is equal to 0. That means there is no transmission and there is no reflection. If it is an opaque body, then reflection will be a 0. Okay, then if the reflection is 0, what will happen? Alpha plus rho is equal to 1. Generally we'll see in the solids and liquids and the glasses too. Okay, if it is a white body, what will happen? Reflectivity is equal to 1. Sorry, if it is opaque body, transmittivity is equal to 1. It will not transmit, so alpha plus rho is equal to 1. If it is a white body, it will reflect. There is no absorption and there is no transmission. When absorption takes place, then only transmission can be happen. If there is no absorption and there is no transmission, so only white bodies will reflect. Okay, in that also there will be two types of reflections. One is a specular reflection and the other one is a diffuse reflection. Where the specular reflection is if the incident radiation will come within a certain angle and it will reflect it back again with the same angle and normal to that particular angle. If it is a diffuse reflection, the incident radiations will be scattered and will reflect through different angles. Okay, for example, if it is for the polished or the smooth surfaces, it is called the specular reflection will be happen. That means whatever the angle of incident radiation is there, with the same angle it will be reflected. If it is the rough surfaces, then it is a diffuse reflection. That means the incident angles will be scattered. Okay, so many of the engineering applications will be rough surfaces. If it is a gray body, all the three, absorptivity, reflectivity and the transmittivity, will have a uniform over entire wavelength spectrum. I'm not saying that it is a one. It will be a uniform over the entire wavelength spectrum. If it is a color body, absorptivity varies with respect to the wavelength. Okay. Now, concept of a black body. As we said that it is an ideal concept. So, in a radiation concept, we will take black body as a ideal thing. So, how we take engines? Like we have so many engines, we have learned so many cycles like auto cycle, diesel cycle, dual cycle, Stirling cycle, Atkins. But out of all these things, the cycle which gives the maximum efficiency is Carnot cycle. Okay, and that we call it as an ideal cycle. In the same way, for the radiation, the body which is an ideal, we call it as a black body. That means which gives the maximum radiations. That means which emits the maximum radiation or which absorbs the maximum radiation at any temperature, at any incident angle. So that's what you're telling. Concept of black body which absorbs all radiations falling on it at any temperature and at any incident angle. That means alpha is equal to 1. Alpha suffix lambda is equal to also 1. Okay, for the black body at any wavelength. See, there will be a different wavelengths. Okay, for visible rays there will be one wavelength, UV rays there will be another wave. Whatever the wavelength it might be, it absorbs all the radiations. Okay, that is 100% radiation, zero reflection and no transmission. And also we can say that which emits maximum radiation at any given temperature. Whatever the body absorbs more radiation, all the radiations will emit maximum radiation at any given temperature. Okay. So for example, if you take two surfaces, like one is a polished surface and the one is a black body in a particular enclosure where we have kept in a certain temperature and we left it for the some time, then what will happen? The temperature will come to a thermal equilibrium, that is in a room temperature. Then which body will absorb more radiation? That is obviously the black body will absorb more radiation. As it is absorbs more radiation, it emits more radiation. Okay, that means if there is a polished surface, it cannot be absorbed complete 100% radiation. Might be it will absorb 70% radiation. So it will emit only a 70% radiation. Okay. In a black body, it absorbs 100% radiation. It also emits 100% radiation. That means absorption is equal to emission, as we'd seen earlier. That is called it as a Kirchhoff law. Okay. And note here, the black body need not to be in a black color. Okay. If we heat anything, it becomes a red color. It doesn't mean that it is not a black body. Okay, so black body need not to be in a black color. Okay, now if you eat any body, it emits radiation, isn't it? That we know. So all radiations will not be the same. We know that because it will have a different wavelengths. Okay, now if you see the graph like this, okay, that means graph is in between the intensity of radiation. Here intensity of the radiation is nothing but a number of radiations. Okay, number of radiations which is occurring. Okay, so that can be written as Q by, that means what is the amount of heat radiated per meter square per second, and x-axis in the wavelength. So if you draw the graph at any given temperature, the graph will come like this at T1 temperature. Look at a T1 temperature. How the graph is, it will come graph. So wherever there is a maximum wavelength, that is called it as a lambda max. That means out of all these wavelengths, there will be a different wavelengths, but only at a certain position it will be a maximum wavelength. That means maximum emission of radiations will be occurred at the maximum wavelength. That is a lambda 1. Okay. So if you take the temperature T2, let us see how the graph will be. The graph will be a vary, and see now what is happening. Here the maximum value it is at a lambda 2, that is the wavelength is becoming shorter. Is it clear? As the temperature increases, the wavelengths becoming shorter. Okay, if you take at the temperature T3, see again the wavelength lambda 3 is shorter than compared to the lambda 1 and the lambda 2. It means that we can say that as temperature increases, the wavelength displaces to a shorter wavelength. Okay, that means we have called it, that positions we have called it as a maximum wavelength. Here maximum wavelength is nothing but maximum intensity of radiations, not maximum energy. Maximum wavelength doesn't mean that it produces maximum energy or it produces maximum radiation. It means that it has a maximum intensity of radiation. Okay, so if the number of radiations of this lambda will be a maximum. Okay, so as temperature increases, what is happening? T3 is greater than T2 is greater than T1. The value of lambda value will be a decreases. That means lambda displaces toward the shorter wavelength. So how can we return right? That means lambda is inversely proportional to the temperature. As temperature increases, the lambda value decreases. So that we can write as lambda 1 T1 is equal to lambda 2 T2 is equal to lambda 3 T3. See, wherever, as we are studying in the case of the black body. Okay, so if you take any example, that means let us take some temperature T1 equal to some 2000 Kelvin or 3000 Kelvin and see that what is the lambda over there. Again, take higher temperature than the before and see the lambda value, and take T3 is equal to some 6000 and see the lambda value, that means wavelength value there. If you product of lambda 1 T1 and the lambda 2 T2 and the lambda 3 T3, the values will be same. Okay, that means you can write it as lambda maximum is inversely proportional to 1 by T. Lambda max T is equal to constant, and this constant value is 2898 micrometer Kelvin, and this is the constant value that is called it as a Wien's constant law, and this law we call it as a Wien's displacement law. As we said that lambda value will displaces as temperature increases, so that's why it is called it as a displacement law, and it is said by the Wien's, so we call it as a Wien's displacement law. And 2898 micrometer Kelvin is nothing but a Wien's constant. Okay, that is what we have seen from the graph. Okay, and again from the graph itself we can find out what is the area under the curve. Okay, we can find out what is the area under the curve. So area under the curve gives the total intensity at that temperature. Okay, so and it is directly proportional to the temperature. As we said that for the radiation it will be the power of 4. That means if it is a 2, it will be 16 times. 2 power 4 means 16 times it will emit more radiation. Okay, so as we said that what is the intensity of the radiation? Q by A into T proportional to T power 4, and this can be written as Q by A into T proportional to T power 4. Okay, so now let us take the example. So in the previous graph we have seen that there is an increase of temperature, that means it is going up peak value. It doesn't mean that whichever the temperature value is more, it no need to go a peak stages like that. Okay, so for that understanding purpose, let us see the example. So this is the intensity and there were the 3 graphs are given. Let us say that this is the temperature T1, this is the temperature T2, and this is the temperature T3. At temperature T1 the maximum lambda value is lambda 1, T3 maximum lambda value is lambda 3, and T2 maximum lambda 2 value is lambda. So by this we can say that lambda 1 is greater than the lambda 3 and lambda 3 is greater than lambda 2. If the lambda 1 is greater than lambda 3, and what will happen to the temperature? It will be a inverse. T1 is less than T3 and less than T2. So low wavelength, high temperature. Okay, so T2 will be a high temperature and it will have a low wavelength. Okay, next coming to the Stefan-Boltzmann law. So what do you mean by Stefan-Boltzmann law? For a perfect black body, intensity of the radiation is directly proportional to the T power 4. What is the intensity of the radiation? We have seen before, Q by A into T, that is proportional to T power 4. So how can we written this? Q by E into T is equal to sigma into T power 4, where sigma is equal to Stefan Boltzmann constant 5.67 into 10 to the power of minus 8 watt per meter square Kelvin per 4. Okay, so how can we write this? Can we write Q by T is equal to, send this area that side, sigma A into T power 4. Okay, so Q by T is equal to A sigma A T power 4. What is Q by A? Q is nothing but a joules, by T is nothing but a second. Joules per second is nothing but a watts. Watt is nothing but a power. So I will write Q by T is equal to E, that is a emissive power, is equal to sigma A T power 4. Remember guys, this is only we are studying for the black bodies only. Okay, we can do for the other bodies also, but this all the expressions will bring based on the ideal body, and here the ideal body is a black body. So we are doing everything for the black body. Whatever the law it is, all the laws is based on the black body only. So if it is for any other body, so what will happen? Power is equal to, if there is any other body, what will happen? That value will be less than the black body, because black body will have a maximum radiation. Okay, so whatever the other bodies will be there, everything will be less than the black body. So for that we will put another constant, call it as a P is equal to E into sigma A T power 4, where here E is the emissivity. So emissivity will be denoted with this one. That means that emissivity value will be 0 less than emissivity less than 1. So for the black body, emissivity value will be a 1. Emissivity value 1 means it is absorbing completely. That means alpha value. So by this we can write as emissivity is equal to absorptivity. So as we know that it is a Kirchhoff law. So here we are also done with the Kirchhoff law. Okay. So for spectral wavelength of a black body, so we know that now we are finding for the total wavelengths. That means we are finding for the total body. We are not insisting anywhere this particular wavelength. So if you want at a particular wavelength, then we go for the spectral wavelength. Okay, so for the spectral wavelength, take it to the spectrum. So at a particular value, that means at a particular lambda, we want the values. Okay, what will be the wavelength? That means in order to find out that small value, we'll take the d lambda. Okay, you know that Q equal to total energy emitted into area. Okay, so for the small wavelength d lambda, that means at that particular the energy emitted will be a small, that is dEb. If it is for 1, we can write as dE by d lambda, and that is call it as that we call it as a spectral wavelength. Okay, so that formula will be a this one, C1 into lambda power minus 5 by e power C2 by lambda t minus 1, where C1 equal to 2 pi c square h, C2 equal to ch by k. Okay, we no need to derive all these things, we can put it like that. Okay, so from that we can write as EB is equal to total emissive power is equal to total wavelength at that particular wavelength. So what we have to do? We have to do in between the lambda 1 and lambda 2. That means we have to do the integration. We can put lambda, if you want for the entire spectrum, we can put lambda 1 is equal to 0, lambda 2 is equal to infinity. Or if you want the values from this particular wavelength to a particular wavelength, then we have to, if you substitute those values, we will get what is the total, what is the energy emitted at that particular wavelength. Okay, so that we call it as a Planck's law, because Planck said about the monochromatic wavelength, that means spectral wavelength. This is called it as a Planck's law. Okay, so